You know what's taking away our freedoms? Fear. Fear of the other. That takes our freedom.
Leave your dashed hopes and dreams at the door. It's time for Carl and Mike.
Welcome. Carl Mike, I'm Carl.
I'm Mike.
Oh, it's good that you're up.
I had to force that one.
Forced enthusiasm?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like today?
Yeah.
You're not up?
I'm just worn out.
You're worn out? Come
Just-
tell Uncle Carl what's going
It's
on.
just
Politics that got you down?
fucking wearing me out.
The craziness? We're in uncharted territory, Michael.
Well, there's the craziness, but there's the desperate hope that somehow he's going to see the light and change. No, this is a 70-year-old,
69 going on
69, 70-year-old man. He ain't going to change. I mean, come on, people. Okay, let's say he changes for the next 3 months and moderates. And let's say you're able to push
He
him
ain't
over
gonna
the
do that.
finish line
Yes. All right.
and he wins. At that point, are you going to spend the next 4 years trying to get him to moderate? He's going to go, no, fuck, it's going to be back to the same old
He's president.
who
Maybe
he is.
Double
Yeah.
down.
This is who he is. When somebody tells you and shows you who they are, believe them.
Michael, who he is a sociopath.
There's that.
We have a sociopath running for
There's
president
that.
of the United States.
There's that.
And we've had bad presidents.
But we really didn't know
We've even
until-
had scoundrels, which I
Kind of-
love that word, scoundrels.
Scoundrel.
But
That
we've
is a
got
good word.
We've got a sociopath. A scoundrel, you know, he'll steal from you. He'll do something kind of.
Yeah.
And Trump's done some scoundrel things, you know, where he doesn't pay his contractors and shit like that. I guess it's easy to turn a profit if you don't pay.
Yeah, he's
help.
not paying right now. The Freedom Kids, did you see that? It's this little dance group that they dress
Little
up
dance
and
group?
yeah, little girls that they sing these little freedom songs or whatever it is. And it was one of his rallies.
They
And
didn't pay him?
there's these three little girls that are standing there singing, and they had agreed. You know, their fee was $2,500 for the show, and the Trump campaign, instead of saying, "Okay, yeah, we'll pay you $2,500 for the show," they came back and said, "How about we provide you a table where you can sell your stuff, you know, your swag and your
Right.
CDs and T-shirts and stuff like that at the deal, because we're going to have, you know, huge crowd, and you'll probably make more money." And the person who was managing them said, "Okay." And so when they get there was no table, there was no place for them to set up and
they
sell
screwed
their
'em.
stuff. That would be correct.
You can't do the basics there. You can't even put a table out so they can. You're not even. They're bringing the inventory. You're not even.
Yeah.
You're just putting a table out
Yeah.
with a chair.
You know, in his defense, he's got a small group
That's a
working
little
for him.
scoundrel. A sociopath has. The sociopath plays with the Purple Heart and says, "I always wanted one of these."
Oh, I love that. Isn't that good?
That's- we're on
who
sociopath.
Wants
Yeah.
a Purple Heart?
I don't even think he knew what
and
a
then
Purple Heart
and
was.
then the representative, or whoever, I forget her name,
Right.
that lost both her legs, and she tweeted out a picture. This tweet and Twitter shit that's another thing that just wears me out. You know, it's just everything about it. Inane, is that the right word?
We're in crazy land.
Yes. And so she shows herself in the hospital after she lost both her
yeah.
legs, getting
This
her
is what-
Purple
yeah,
Heart.
yeah.
This is how people usually get their Purple Heart, Donald.
And they don't really want
Yeah.
one.
No,
Nobody
you
wants.
don't
Why
want
would you want a Purple Heart?
Yeah. When I was driving here, you know, I always listened to NPR or some news program. I'm getting to the point where I listen to less and less of that shit, which is probably a good thing, especially these days. And anyway, they were just recounting all the stupid shit that he had said and done over the last 7 days.
Yeah. Incredible. We've had
Yeah.
an incredible stretch here.
Yet somehow, the Maverick, John McCain. I mean, come on,
I'm
John,
sorry, I
you've
never
had a
bought
fucking
that.
career. Just grab hold of your balls and do something for the country
John McCain
instead of
never
worrying
did.
about your own position in Congress.
He's always been that way.
Yeah,
Talk
well,
about someone who's not gonna
well,
change.
that's what we're seeing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, he's an
get it.
old guy, ain't going to change. Paul Ryan and same stuff. They don't go to his rallies when they're in their home states. Big fucking deal. Come out and say, no, this guy is unfit. Just like Obama did at the White House. Of course, they're blaming him for being I mean,
Oh, that was a
nonpartisan.
master stroke.
That was
a little shiv.
yeah, standing there with another leader from another country going,
because now
this
they-
guy
now they-
is unfit
Right.
to hold this office.
But think about the politically move. That now Ryan does that. He has to agree with Obama.
You know, it's just
Which they never wanted.
Well, and a friend and I were running an errand to get some fire pits yesterday, and we were talking, and he's just shaking his head. Typically, he would probably vote. Well, no, he's voted for, all across the board. He's a registered independent like I am. And he was just going, I can't vote for anybody. And it is a bad choice. I think Trump is probably one of the few people that she could beat.
Yeah. Well, now, did you watch the Democratic convention at all?
Oh, yeah, watch it all.
Your feeling of Hillary, did it change at all?
No. No, I always admired Michelle Obama. That's even more so. I thought Obama's speech was great.
Yeah.
Some of the other people that I heard were really good. I didn't hear hers.
Uh-huh. Oh, you didn't
Still
hear her?
haven't listened to it. From what I understand, it's okay. But
Yeah.
in talking to somebody here in town who's kind of on the inner workings of her thing, even she said, she's not that great a candidate.
Right. She's not.
And
She's not an orator.
But you don't have to
No.
beat somebody who's
So what
a
is it you don't
sociopath.
like about Hillary?
The 3 speeches for $125 a pop with Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, that whole Wall Street thing is bullshit. And the fact that there's no way somebody's not going to pay you $125 and you're not going to do something for them. They're not going to pump that kind of money into it and not expect to get something in return. Now, what that is, I don't know.
But $250,000 isn't that much money for a lobbying kind of thing.
It is more than several years' salary for the average American. So yes, it looks like a lot of money. Is it millions and billions? No, but it's a lot. So there's that. The email thing, that was just stupid on her part, period. I understand kind of why she did it, because she's been under siege for years,
Right.
but it's still stupid.
She does make unforced errors.
Yeah, and plus I don't like her pantsuits. The fabrics and stuff. I mean,
What do
who
you want
wears
her to
that
wear?
shit?
You want to
Where
wear
do
a
they
dress?
even get? I don't care anything but these fabrics that look like they're a half-inch thick, that that don't crease. That just it kind of looks like that foam suit that David Byrne wore in the Talking Heads when he would.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm just worn out by the whole thing. And
See, I'm committed, and as you know, probably more of a Hillary fan than you are. But I wouldn't even put fan in my language. I'm probably less bothered by Hillary, I would say.
Yeah.
Still not a Hillary fan, but this election, this is the first we've got. This is not an ideology thing here. Okay, this isn't about disagreeing with Trump's ideology, though I'm sure there's things I disagree about, whatever Trump's ideology that has shown through.
Well, nobody knows what it is.
This is about mentally fit for office.
No, I agree with that.
This is a unprecedented problem that we're facing. In my lifetime, even Nixon, as fucked up as he was,
He was fucked
up. He was on the border of evil. But even Nixon ran the country. He did some bad things. But I mean, I didn't worry about Nixon becoming a dictator. I didn't worry about Nixon reaction to stuff, that he couldn't handle things under pressure, that he was mentally unfit. This guy is mentally unfit, guys.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm committed to do what my little voice, from our cards to posting on Facebook, on my personal page. I posted something about honoring, a guy was holding a sign, Principles Over Party, Hillary 2016, whatever. And so I said I honored people who put principles and put country over party.
Oh, yeah.
This is the time where you have to make a decision. If Trump was the Democratic nominee and Jeb Bush was the Republican nominee, I would be pushing people to vote for Jeb Bush. And the thought of Jeb Bush being president is a stomach-turning thought. But I would be for Jeb Bush as strongly as I'm for Hillary. I would have no problem voting against the Democrat if a Democrat was Trump.
Would you vote for Kasich over Hillary?
Possible. It was possible.
But that's not even an option.
It isn't an option.
No, it's not an option. It's not going to be an option.
Would I vote for Mike Pence over Hillary? No.
No, Mike, it's like voting for a cotton ball or something, I mean, what do you,
I don't buy religious bigotry.
No.
And he owns that.
Well, there's that.
There's that. But it would be an ideology thing with Pence. It wouldn't be this guy's on. Do I think if Pence became president that he could captain the ship? Yeah. Would I like some of his decisions on a political standpoint or ideological standpoint? No. Would I worry about him putting us into a war or worse, or being manipulated by a guy like Putin, as Trump has been?
Probably not. Pence doesn't he have a son or something that's in the military right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what elections come to. He has zero empathy. He has no empathy for other people.
And it's not going to change between now and November. So
no.
can we take November 2nd and turn it into September 2nd and do away with 2 months worth of
Well, it isn't
bullshit?
about change. It's about will he follow our directions? Will he allow us to manage him?
No.
That's what they're really wanting to say.
Nobody's ever managed him.
I know.
Nobody's ever managed
But
him.
I think
He's not going to manage him.
I think George W. Bush got managed to a certain extent.
Oh, you're talking about George.
George W. got managed.
Yeah, by
Cheney and
Cheney, yeah.
especially in the beginning.
Well, but he came around and realized, I think, that he was being pushed around a little after.
Yeah.
But it was too late then. The damage was done.
Right. And look at the damage George W. Bush did. Now Trump, the things that he could
I know,
put this country
I know.
not only
That's
a combination of at war with our allies and economically devastated,
Yeah.
and not have any empathy or any responsibility for it. Talking about the election being rigged 3 months before the election.
Well, he's setting the stage.
Yeah, he is.
He's setting the stage for his people
Right.
to be pissed off about
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Even if
So
he
the
loses,
Trump
which he will lose.
continues. Yes.
He's fomenting anarchy
Yeah, he is.
prior to the election with his people who are like dyed-in-the-wool believers.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a dangerous
doesn't-
fucking thing.
Yeah, those are the people that Trump could go and shoot somebody, and they're going to go, yeah, it's okay.
This is
Let's
why I think it's really important. The old adage is, you vote for your conscience, or vote for, if you don't
Yeah.
like Hillary,
Yeah.
then vote
Yeah.
for Jill
Yeah.
Stein, or vote
Yeah.
for Ron Johnson, or whatever. This election, it is important that Trump not just be defeated. He must be really trounced. It's really important that he gets trounced, because
Yeah.
a real message has to be sent that authoritarian mindset like that is not acceptable in the United States. And
Yeah.
don't even think about trying to form around it.
Right. We have a system whereby we can keep that from happening. We have a
Yes.
political system in
Yes.
place where we can keep that from happening.
From going
That's
down
that's
Banana
important.
Republic dictator road.
And that's important. Yesterday when we were driving around, Tommy said, he's got a friend that has spent time in China and South Korea this last year. And everybody wants to know what the fuck is going on over here. They're
Yeah.
nervous about this. They're scared about it because everybody's always looked at us as some sort of place that's stable, where
Yeah.
they can put money or move to or come
Right.
to
Worst
do a
case
better
scenario, I
life.
can go to the States.
And that's looking like maybe not the case. And you got
think?
some, and so they're kind of going, what the hell is going on here? How do you answer that?
Right. So number one, we need to make this kind of a Barry Goldwater type of thing, But this kind of far-right authoritarian ideology doesn't have a place at the table here,
Yeah.
and is not going to have a place. The second reason we need to trounce him is the exact thing. If he's anywhere close, if he's within 2%, he's going, I was robbed.
Yes.
He's going to make the big case that he was robbed. And so it can't even be close. And God forbid if it was a Gore versus Bush and he lost. It would not be pretty. It would be very ugly. It's going to be ugly anyway. But for him to inflame the bullshit storyline.
Yeah, there's no, if he continues it through November, there's no way that post-election is going to calm things down. I think if anything, it will be worse. It's going to be worse than it is. Honestly, and that's part of the thing that wears me out is that I think, And Tommy and I were talking about yesterday. We haven't seen the worst yet.
We haven't.
No.
It's going to get worse.
Yes.
Worse than mocking Gold
Yes.
Star members.
Yes.
How do you get worse than that exactly? He threw out a baby.
Yeah, I know, but that's
How does it get? What does worse look like?
you said he threw out a baby and you laughed.
Yes.
There's going to be stuff that you can't even snicker about.
Well, there is already. The Gold Star thing was just
The Gold
beyond
Star.
the pale.
Well, sure it was. What's happening is he says that, yet the VFW and other veterans groups have not come out and definitively said, we do not support this guy. Where are they? Because, see, these are the same people that go, I want to make sure I get this right, fundamentalist, Islamic, terrorist, Muslim,
Right.
however they want to phrase it, okay? Whatever that
Islamic
phrase is, that's what I
fundamental
just said,
terrorism,
okay?
yes.
So they're happy. When an evildoer does some shit like that, they go, where's the Muslim community that's denouncing this? Where is the so-called conservative group that's denouncing this? Where is the Republican leadership that should be denouncing him, should not have even let this happen? They are to blame for this happening. The people that used to be able to tap this shit down have allowed it to happen. They have allowed this to happen.
I think it would be poetic irony that turning point for Trump could have been a Muslim holding the Constitution.
I mean, the
Almost
visuals there and everything about it.
Beautiful.
Was just,
How poetic.
That's what this country's all about. Those are the demonstrations of what this country is about. The one thing that I really loved about watching both the conventions, the way they pan the crowd, in the Republican, it's a bunch of old people, all white. You pan the crowd at the Democratic convention, that's America. That's who we are. It's all different colors, all different nationalities, all different religions, right there in that one room, getting together to do what they're doing. Okay,
Right.
And that's the difference. That's what this country is.
I think I said this on one show before. I was at a Costco on a Sunday during Cowboy game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize I wasn't watching the Cowboy game for whatever reason, and I was amazed at the people that were in Costco, all the different nationalities.
Yeah.
Like we're all there because they weren't watching the football game either.
No.
There's this whole other America that we don't even realize sometimes how much of an immigrant country we are. And it's ironic that we are having this battle really over immigration, because really even the Muslim thing, that's an immigration thing.
That's what we've always said about ourselves as being a home. Your huddle masses, tired huddle masses, whatever the fuck. Sending them here, and then we take pride in that. Yet when it comes down to recognizing it, we're going, oh man, all these people are coming in, and it's messing us up.
Well, some are.
Yeah.
I think it is what's great about America.
No, I think that there are some.
There's all these people who came from a lot of oppressive places in the world, found freedom here.
Yeah.
And that we have the freedom, despite the scare story from the GOP.
Yeah.
This is the land of the free. Government isn't taking away all our freedoms. You know what's taking away our freedoms? Fear. Fear of the other. That takes our freedom.
It's fear and the ability through technology and the changes that we've gone through to amplify that fear. Through Twitter, through social media, through internet. Because it used to think of what somebody like Hitler could have done with the social media and the media that exists now. Think what he could have done if he had that at his disposal, instead of just a microphone at rally and radio.
Works both ways. You can promote good with the media as well.
You can.
And does.
You can, but it does go both ways. And I'm just saying it has been
But the curve,
used.
the arc, even with terrorism, that there's less terrorist deaths across the world now than ever before, than in the 70s and stuff with the IRA, and they had all sorts of different groups that were killing. There's more terrorist deaths back then than there are now.
Maybe so, but we didn't see it because we didn't have the TV and we didn't have the social media. And because we see it, it feels like there's more.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly. But
Okay.
there isn't. And the more we see, the better we're going to get. I think the Trump thing, this is the last gaps.
I think it's good for people to see that on display.
Right. The
Okay.
racism that was always
think-
there, the
I think-
brutality that
okay,
was
now
always there.
You see it on display.
Right.
This is what people have talked about. You see it on display, and that's what you see at his rallies, and that's what you see with his diehard
Right.
supporters, and you
Yeah.
see that.
So people see that, and people react to it.
It's not a secondhand kind of a
Right.
thing. So I think yes, that part of it is good.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah, you can play to the fears and stuff.
He's shown that it works. Not just him.
It worked in the Republican Party, but the Republican Party set this up. Donald Trump is Sarah Palin plus Fox News plus Rush Limbaugh plus Glenn Beck. All those things add up to Trump. Out of the bubble, they have created this man.
And I'm waiting for some of them to recognize their part in the show, but they won't.
No.
Well, it would take conscious
And self-awareness.
It would take self-awareness. It would take somebody recognizing that they played a role in this,
Right.
and they need to make amends for that.
This
Now,
is
will
what,
that ever happen with any of them? I doubt it.
Right.
I doubt it.
The bottom line is, it shows that 15 years of propaganda in an unfair and balanced way, with a certain attitude, has an effect.
Yeah.
The only reason it's close is because Hillary's on the Democratic side. If Joe Biden would have been the nominee, I think he'd be up by 20, 25.
If Bernie was on there, I think he'd be up too.
I mean, they'd be screaming socialist at Bernie.
Well, but that's, at some point, that's about, if that's all you can scream.
But I'm saying, let's say you would have taken you would have taken Barack Obama, and let's say he would have flipped and Hillary would have ran, and now he would be running. He'd be up like 35. He'd be up as much as you can get up.
Yeah.
Because 25% of the country's going to go
Yeah.
for GOP, no matter
Well,
what.
I was looking at 538, the website 538,
Yeah, where's
who's,
that at right now?
oh, she's a 79% likelihood that she's going to win.
It's good, but
That means it's only 20%, a 1 in 5 chance that he
but
could
1 in
win.
5 is a shot.
Yeah.
It's too close
no,
for me.
I don't, yeah, I think
need
that
it to
there's
be
20
like 95. No, he's
It's
saying
actually-
there's a 20% chance that Trump could still win. It means you got a roll of dice. You have 6-sided die. You're going to
Yeah.
have, your number could come up.
I'll take those odds.
Yes, I will too. When it comes to Trump, 20% is still too scary.
But she went up 3 points just this week watching that 538. I like watching that because it's kind of watching the.
I think the debate is going to be fascinating because you've got basically Hillary's a policy wonk, right? Then you've got what's the opposite of a policy wonk? Who has no idea what the policies are, and so he's gonna do the smackdown thing.
The people that want to see the SmackDown will get what.
WWE kind of thing.
Yeah, they're going to get what they want.
Right.
They're going to be.
have a
They're going to
few
think that's
one-liners.
great. They're going to love it. Ooh, he's our guy. The people that want that don't really care about the details of this stuff. They don't care about the details of Donald's life. They don't care about
care
the
the fact that
details
he's
of how he
sociopath?
does business. They don't care about whether he's a sociopath or not. They don't believe any of that stuff. They bought their ticket for the show. It's a show. They bought a ticket for the show. They want to see a show.
They
don't want to see
slam
him
Hillary.
read off.
So
They
all
don't
he
want
has to do is just get a few jabs in on her.
they don't want to see him read off a teleprompter. They go to the show to see him do shit like that. It's the same reason people go to car races. They want to see a crash. No, I'm serious. They want to see that.
You're saying on a
They don't want to watch cars go in a circle for 2 hours. They want to see a crash, maybe a little fire. I know I'm serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. But you're saying a Trump supporter wants to see him say something off the rails.
Absolutely.
So they're real happy about him not endorsing
Because when he says
Ryan
something
and-
off
and-
the rail,
and McCain, and because those are the elites, they're against the
yeah,
Republican
because when he
elites.
says something off the rail, he's echoing what they're thinking.
Well, they need
So all
to
of a
get
sudden
better
there's-
fucking thoughts.
Not gonna happen.
What?
No, it's not gonna happen anymore.
I love this thing. People go on, he says what I think. Then you're a fucking sociopath.
No, they're not a
No, I know.
sociopath.
You know what I'm
They're
saying?
they have
If he's saying what you're thinking,
they
he's
have
saying
thinking errors.
Yeah, I don't know. Are Americans thinking that God, that that Putin's a pretty good leader? He knows how to get things done. People thinking that.
No,
What is
I
it-
don't
what
think
is
they're
exactly
thinking
Trump
that.
saying
What
that
they're
people are
what they're
thinking?
saying is they like.
Obama's a Kenyan. He's not a real American. He
Well,
didn't
and I
have a
think
birth
Obama
certificate.
hit it real good when he says Americans don't want to be ruled.
Yeah, he really.
That was
Obama-
good. But I think the vast majority of Americans don't. But there is a segment that wants that. They want a strong man. They want a strong person like that.
He's not a strong person. He's a conniving sociopath. He rips people off.
But he
business.
plays a strong person on TV. So he's playing one on TV. See, that's the whole thing. He knows what they want. He's playing that part. And he keeps them stringing along.
I think Trump is being Trump.
And his breadcrumbs, his bait, are these gaffes that are a reflection of what they're thinking. So he drops one of these breadcrumbs every so often, and they go, oh, yeah, oh, there he is. There's the guy. That's the guy. Oh, yeah, now I'll get it this time. He's my guy. To me, and I'm not the only one, when you see something that's that clear, that's not being corrected, you kind of go, why? What's wrong with the system that there's no mechanism in place to correct something like this?
People voted. I don't see how the mechanism could even be in place. So the people vote during the primary season, which is way too freaking long. Yeah. They picked him. Now he's shown himself to be insane. Now what?
And Michael Steele said that today. He voted. He won. Everybody uses that as a way to distance themselves from it. He's the one that voted. But, the other, and we've talked about this before, he beat 16 other people.
Right.
How weak can those other people be that they knuckled under this bully? He's basically a junior high school bully. Is basically what it is, who never grew up. And all these people maybe were bullied when they were younger, and they have those kinds of feels, and they're going to back off, know.
I don't know what could be done. To do something would be to overrule all those votes. I get the
overrule.
I think Ryan and them should say, that's it. I'm done with this guy. They can't overthrow him.
There's a segment of society that's waiting for a leader that will stand up and lead the charge against him. Absolutely.
Where can that leader go?
It's not just Republicans that are waiting. There's a lot of independents that are waiting to see if there's an absolute leader.
What could he do other than say, I'm not going to vote for Trump?
That's a good start. Yeah. He could echo what Obama said. I'm waiting for a Republican to echo what he said and say, this is not someone that can be trusted with this.
But Ron Kirk of Illinois, a Republican senator, basically said that.
I need somebody that's a name that everybody...
So
this is still part of the show.
Or is there anybody else besides McConnell and Ryan?
McCain.
You consider him a leader of the party? You want one of those guys.
I'd like to hear George Bush come out and say that.
George Bush had.
Anybody and everybody that can. That is a recognizable...
Romney did a speech.
Yeah, but Romney also said 40%. Romney is a rich guy that nobody pays attention to. It tried to buy the nomination or the election and didn't get it. He's just a rich guy that everybody... He's part of the problem.
He's part of the problem because he was so dishonest and pandered to the worst instincts. They pandered. There's a lot of Republican pandering to the worst instincts before Trump. Romney, to me, helped set the table. Romney said deportation for Mexicans when he was running.
Yeah, they're reaping what they sow. Yeah. I don't have any sympathy for him whatsoever.
And I'm saying Romney helped reap that. Romney's Sarah Palin's, and Sarah Palin, that's McCain's responsibility. Right?
Yeah, somebody like Sarah Palin, I really don't give a shit what they say. I tell you who would be good to come out right now? Chris Christie.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
He would be a good one to come out and say that. I would like to hear Rubio come out and say that.
Yeah, Rubio is such a wuss. He's one of the 16 that...
One of the feckless pussies.
That bench is not deep.
No, there is no depth in there at all. It was just the next person in line. And the next person on the end of the bench that was getting ready to get called into the game was Jebra. And low-energy Jebra wasn't enough, No,
I will say that was one thing Trump was effective of doing.
Is tagging people.
With the 16 dwarfs.
Yeah,
is tagging them.
Yeah.
And tagging them, hitting their honest perception.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part of that is every politician after this went to school on that. So we're going to see more of it.
More of it. Trump's damage does more, and he's already done damage.
I think the old system could stand to be torn down or redone. And what does that involve?
I saw a thing a post on Facebook the other day, and it was about Obama's masterstroke when he said Trump was unfit, Republicans should, right? And he said, hey, I'm a Yankee. He used the analogy of the Yankees and the Red Sox, and when the Red Sox do something good, you hate it, but you have to give them credit. We're not on different teams. We are on the same team, the United States of America. Use the baseball analogy. It isn't one side's the Yankees and one side's the White Sox or Red Sox. It's one guy's in left field and one guy's in right field, but we're on the same fucking field. We need to get that. If we're going to tear it down, we need to go there. In my fantasy world, we would look at how we can solve problems with a combination of private and public sector, and people that were more Republican oriented would be the less government people would become, let's work out the inefficiencies so we do this in the most efficient, most cost. That would be a place where we'd all be on the same team making things happen.
Yeah.
Instead of what we got now, even now, this is the extreme. We'll do the sociopath because we hate Hillary so much. Even though deep down you know she's not going to destroy the country as Trump has the ability to do, being mentally unstable. We're still going to go with our team. In other words, we got to get to a point where we take the strengths of each side, and it's got to get beyond no government versus a functioning, intelligent use of government and partnerships with private sector to solve problems, in which we have many, and to do that in the most effective way. And that's where we need to be. That's what it needs to look like.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
And maybe this is what has to happen. This thing has to play itself out to a Trumpian level.
Ooh, what was that? That was a monkey flying out my butt. Ooh, that tickled.
But we're not on the same. We're not two different teams. We're the United States of America. Damn it, we're red in America and blue America. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was what Obama tried to say in 2004, but it's true.
Yeah, but it's a culture that's built on competition, which means there's always an us
don't
and
you
them.
think Obama would have played ball with the Republicans if the Republicans would have tried to play ball?
Sure.
I think the Democrats in general would play ball with the Republicans if the Republicans weren't so fucking out of their minds and so antagonistic to the other side. I would vote for smart Republican leaders that would make a difference. I think there's a willingness to work, but there's only a willingness to work on one side. The other side wants to shut the government down if they don't get their way, like a petulant child.
Oh, I know.
All right, I'm done.
You're done?
I'm off the soapbox.
Ah.
That's the dream, Michael. The dream is we come together, we realize we're on the same team. We have a right fielder and a left fielder, but we're on the same team.
And monkeys fly out our butt.
So you're saying never going to happen?
Don't see it. I love the idea, and I think there may have been times in the past, but there's always been an us versus them kind of thing, and it's a power deal, and you have to set that up to get power. People want power. They want to lead. They want to be the top dog, and to be the top dog, you have to defeat a bottom dog.
Okay, the other dogs are not America against itself. The other dogs
I
are
understand.
China,
I
and
understand.
Russia,
I understand
and lots of players, Syria.
But then
there's a lot of players out there that are out to not make the world a better place. The fight is not with Hillary. The fight is not with GOP and Dems. That isn't where the fight should be.
I know, and our theme song should be "Give Peace a Chance." We'll get Yoko Ono to sing it. Hum a few bars before
We're on the same team.
No, I understand. I get it. I get it, but I don't see it, and I don't see how that could ever happen. It would be great, but it would. I think it would take. You know what it would take?
A calamity.
It would take global
Aliens.
financial collapse.
Global financial collapse.
I still hold out hope.
For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time to Carl Mike, this global financial collapse is a lifelong dream of Mike's. I don't think that would go well. I think we'd be closer to doing Mad Max.
It would be.
It'd be Mad Max than it would be Kumbala. Let's all come together.
Could we do both?
We kind of are.
Yeah. It's heading in that
Mad
direction.
Trump right now.
Yeah.
Careening us to God knows where.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been all politics all the time on this one.
Yeah.
No sex or religion. Really no time for sex right now.
It's really
It's
not.
a sexless type of place. And religion, well, even religion. I had a friend, I saw on Facebook, one of my Christian friends, and they posted some argument the pastor was making for Trump. It was, God, how far out do you have to bend yourself if you're a Christian, supposedly evangelical Christian, how far pretzeling you have to do to make the case for Trump?
And his wife with
And-
all her nude photographs being
Yeah.
your first lady. Your first lady.
First lady.
You're a,
Not
you're
only the three
born-
marriages.
You're a fundamentalist
The
Christian. You
the
want-
immoral actions and words.
They're out there, man.
Anyway,
Is that it?
I think I'm spent.
Yeah.
I think I'm now where you
See,
were to
yeah.
start.
And I'm
tired.
even more tired.
Are we ending this?
Yeah.
Once again, America, stay strong. Be diligent. Keep the
lu-
dream alive.
Good luck.
You may say I'm a dreamer. I hope someday.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Peace.
Out.